Hello, beautiful people. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to our second client spotlight with our very special guest, Andrae Smith. If you're new to my voice, new to my face, I am Allanté Collier, operations consultant, founder of Streamline Scale. But let's go ahead and get into this. I call it an interview, but I really like to spotlight some clients, some amazing clients that I've had the bless. The what's the right word? the I've had it's been such a blessing partnering with you, Andrae, and all of my clients out there. But let me go ahead and stop talking. Go ahead and take it away. Please introduce yourself. Let us know all of the magic about who you are and what you do, Andrae.
Awesome. Well, first off, thank you for having me on here today, and thank you again for the work that we've done together. My name is Andrae Smith Jr. I am a two-time author now, editor, writing coach, and I work with coaches, entrepreneurs, movement leaders, especially movement leaders with a focus on diversity, inclusion, equity, and just really purpose, mission-driven leaders to take their expertise, their passion, their stories, and package it into a book that makes a difference, that means something to people, and that will get remembered, and in some cases, bring people to happy tears. Um, I love doing this work because number one, it gives me an opportunity to do something that I'm passionate about, which is working with books, writing, words, and really awesome people. But then
Right.
also the work that we do together not only boosts the author's platform, but gives them an avenue to connect to more people and deliver
Mhm.
a message that sometimes we may not have direct access to. You
Yeah.
know, you can have all the speaking engagements in the world, but there will be people who can never make it there. But somehow or another, they'll find your book and be like, wow, my life
Mhm.
is different now. And we have the opportunity to create that for people. So that's what a little bit about what I do and why I'm excited about it. But I'm
Yes.
grateful to be here.
And your passion always speaks for you because you're always so passionate about what you do. And even when we were chatting in Discord and in the book club, we're getting ready to finish Psychology of Money. And I'm like, how in the world did you read this damn near whole book in like a week? And this is just that y'all have. But anyway, how long have you been a book writing coach, Andrae? How long have you been in business for?
Independently in this current format, a year and a half now.
Okay.
I've been a freelance editor for years, part-time, full-time, worked at a publishing company for a while. But a year and a half in this current platform or current format.
Okay, a year and a half. So much has happened, and I feel like I've seen your growth too. I don't know at what point we crossed paths in your journey, but we've been connected for a while. But how has your journey been as a business owner transitioning into the CEO role? How has that journey been like for you?
It has been a journey, let me tell you. When I started out on the
Mhm.
independent path this time around, I was coming from the freelance world. And as a freelancer, the mindset and the way that you run your business is so different from being a business owner, entrepreneur, and CEO. So I
Yeah.
was coming at it like, I just want to find some work, bring in the money, and I'll be okay. But of course, what I was building would require a little bit more than that. And so I didn't quite have all of the knowledge and the tools that I needed. But over time, I've had to learn new things. And with each thing I learned, I realized I had to learn the next thing and the next thing. And,
Yeah.
you know, I thought throughout this process, if I kept learning more things, I would eventually arrive at this place of like, hey, my business is on and popping. I'm in it.
I made
But
it.
it's taken a year and a half to realize that no, 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 that's not exactly. You have to decide what kind of business you want, what kind of business leader you want to be. Do you
Yeah.
want to be a small business? Do you want to be a big business? Do you want to be just a freelancer? Do you want to trade your time for money or build a system that works for you? These were
Mm.
questions that I never asked in the beginning. And so over time, and where I am now, that I've asked these questions, I'm starting to look at that. I'm able to see what is it am I actually building? Why am I building it this way? And how is it
Mm.
going to support my lifestyle, my clients, and the impact I'm trying to make?
Mm.
But it's been a journey, and you have to really take on this new mindset of not just, hey, I'm making money, but how I'm making money and what I'm going to do with that, and what does it mean to make this money this way?
Oh, yes. You're speaking just like a CEO. It's like at that point in time, once your business is off the ground and it's going, you have your clients and all of that, then you come into this next level where you really start looking within so that you can start preparing for that scaling. And those questions right there, what kind of leader do you want to be? What kind of business do you want to build? What kind of impact do you have in the world? These are all very important questions that's preparing you for that next season. So before we started working together and putting together and upgrading your client management system, where were you when it came to your business operations, your structure, and some of the systems that you had in place?
The real question is, where wasn't I? I was all over the place. I was stressed out. I was confused. Like I said, I've been acquiring so many different things, and like I had all the different systems. I had the DocuSign, the PayPal. I had Stripe. I wasn't using Kajabi, partially up and running. I had a lot of hands, a lot of pots on the stove, all operating at like medium heat. Nothing's really done. Nothing's getting done. And I'm just like, what the heck? I need to just get this wrapped up. And I tried for the longest time to do it myself and even bring
Mm,
on different people to kind of coordinate with me and do it. But after a while, I realized, I'm not making as much progress as I can.
yeah,
And, part of it's because I don't have all the knowledge and background that I need. And I don't think I need at this moment in time to take another 3 to 6 month program. I need someone who can come in, already know what I'm talking about better than I can and get it done at like really high levels.
yeah.
Enter Allanté.
Yes. And it's amazing how number one, you get to this point in time where you really start protecting your time. Because I was one of those people, at the very beginning, when you're building your journey, building your business, you have all the time in the world almost. Like for me, I was fresh out of a corporate career. So I'm like, I have nothing but time to build the business. But over time, it's like you build one system on top of one system, on top of one system. Then you have all these systems happening. Now you're like, I don't even know what's
Hmm.
happening, but it's working, it's moving. But now it's time to really start cleaning it up and really see
Hmm.
the sense of things and streamlining it so that you can really give your clients the best. So,
And see, in my case, it wasn't all working. A lot of it was, but because there were so many different things, like the amount of time and energy and effort that it went to keep it all running and to get things working, I had no time left to optimize the things that were and figure out what's not and cut them. It just was taking too much time and energy. And
yeah,
for someone like me at where I was, kind of still in this space between, do I want to be a big business, small business? Okay, I'm still service oriented. There's a lot that has to be figured out. And when you have too much going on just to make the everyday work, oh my goodness, you can't even forecast for the future and create the vision like a CEO.
yeah, just so much going on. It's so cloudy. It's like, how can I even just focus, right? When you're just being pulled so many different directions. So, with the work that we did, again, I love the project that we were working on. I love the work that we did. I'm so happy that you all are happy with the work that we did. What kind of changes have you seen just in your day to day and how you now run your business after we've completed our work together?
Well, number one, I've been able to go ahead and save a little bit of money by cutting unnecessary systems. I no longer need the Calendly, no longer need DocuSign. It's all right there.
All right.
I've been able to learn Dubsado little bits at a time, and it's so easy to manage. So as I'm learning it, I'm documenting what I like to do, how I like to run it. That way, as I bring on new team members, they're able to integrate right into what we're doing versus trying to learn new things and create new things. Here it
Yeah.
is. On top of that, my onboarding process is so much more simplified. Um, and I like it because now it's sort of an application process versus, hey, someone's booked a call and I get the information. So now I'm like, oh, by the way, here's this person. They're already on my calendar, but they weren't even a good fit to begin with. How did they get on the calendar? Oh,
Yes.
I can see the applications. Okay, cool. You're not quite a good fit, and it's just a click of a button to let them know that and move on. My calendar stays open. If they are a good fit, they get booked, and the way that it flows from there, I already have someone who's able to then utilize the contract that's there. easy. And without having to follow up behind them, they got the follow-up email because it took them a couple of days before they did it. And they texted me like, "Hey, I got your email." I'm like, "That's right, you did." In my head, like, I didn't send you no email. You got the automated email, man. Come on now.
I love it too. And because I remember before when we had our first, I call it the CEO intensive, when we were mapping out your process, doing the different color coding too, it was like I saw how many things that you were manually doing and also like some of the challenges you were having as well. So it was awesome for us to just kind of lay everything out to see, okay, this is what you're manually doing. And this is what we can start eliminating the different tools, some of the things that's not needed. And now you can onboard your clients and walk away and onboard them in your sleep. And they're waking up to your emails, to the links, to different access. Everything's in one place. And all of that's happening just within the click of a few buttons. And I think that is just so dope, that you have this foundation right here, right now, because I already know like your overflow season is here. And it's just a matter of time before you're booked out and then you're just high in demand and everyone's coming for Andrae, the book writing coach. And I'm not even sure what your next season is looking like, but it's been such an honor being a part of this season now. But question for you, that's a great question. So what do you see after the work that you've been doing? Because you've been getting a lot of your systems together too. What do you foresee your next level, your next season looking like for you?
Oh man, that's a great question. So as I look towards the remaining 6 months, and into the next year, I'm really seeing lots of changes in the ways of new offers, new ways that I can show up, really focusing less on the operations because the system is simple enough to manage, that I
Mhm.
can focus more on the type of work that I like to do. Um, I'm really seeing a shift from solopreneurship and even away from, independent people coming in and out to more permanent team members, more permanent roles, and just eliminating tasks from my plate. I see myself really branching into course creation, both digitally as well as in person, and being able to take the time to map this sort of stuff out. To this point, I've never been able to really sit down and see where I'm going. It's like, hey, I've got to get that next sale. I got
Yeah.
to find that next client. But now I can really take this piece off because that was a part of it. I had so much on my plate. Just for those who are watching, I had to worry about client acquisition and all of that umbrella. So finding new leads, creating the content, posting it on the different platforms, finding people to help me post it. That's all for just that element. Then,
Yeah.
of course, I had to meet with them and go through the sales process, then go through the onboarding process, collect their invoices, send follow-up emails, set up their projects, teach them the material, guide them through the process, edit their books, and get them ready to launch. I'm like, if you when you put it that way, you're like, Andre, what the hell were you thinking? Excuse my
All of this you're doing alone solo dolo? What? But
now I can
we all go through that point though. Like we all have to wear all the hats until we're either forced that we can't do so, or we get ahead of the wall and we go ahead and free up that space. And you fortunately were able to do that.
absolutely. And this has really been a huge help because now what are some of the things that we did on this call or on our intensive and as we mapped it out really kind of forced me to actually look at the business in a way that I hadn't yet, but really needed to. What did my workflow look like? What did my customer journey look like? Those
Yeah.
are things that I hadn't really thought about in those terms. But once I got it kind of mapped out there with you, I was able to look at that and I didn't just leave it there when I started rethinking my business and the offers I was making and what I wanted this business to look like going forward, that became the baseline. Like I got this nice, simple, streamlined process for them. What
Yeah.
else can I streamline to add to this, build
Mhm.
around it? Okay, they're onboarded easily. Can I make the next thing just as simple? How do I make the Basecamp project piece simple? How can I make the Kajabi piece simple? And
Yeah.
now I'm able to really look at it total box and say, oh, this is so simple. And I've tested it out with a couple of clients and they're following the process so easily. I'm like, I can make a lower ticket offer, not super low, but lower enough to where if they want to just go through it by themselves and they don't want to pay me for all the coaching and whatnot, that's cool too. I don't need you on my back for 6 months either. I can create something for those people and let them run it themselves. And
Mhm.
that in itself creates a new offer, a new opportunity to make more with
Yeah.
the same amount of time. I'm like, hold up. So that's the direction I'm headed in now. I'm feeling really excited and falling back in love with my business because for a while you get these points are like, I love this business, but it's like a child that won't stop crying.
Yes, I love that. And it's kind of like, I kind of get this sense too that some people they get to the point, like I just had a coffee chat earlier today, and she was talking about how one lady got to the point she's had her business for a couple of years, but she's so burnt out, she's going back to the 9 to 5. And that's a common story that I'm starting to hear more and more, that a lot of people are either fed up with having to do all the stuff, having to market, be visible all the time, having to do all the stuff, being burnt out, that is like they created the second job for themselves, that they rather go back to that 9 to 5 and have that stability. But it's like, this is why operations are vital. And it's not really addressed or talked about as much for online businesses as it is for corporate management, right?
100%.
And this is where we come in and fill in that gap. And I love just hearing stories like you and meeting more and more solopreneurs who's making that transition, because I feel like once you're able to kind of offload the operations, you can really start reaching that your CEO potential and really stepping into who you are, who you've been created to be, and going out there doing the work, having these ripple effects, and having this generational legacy and wealth and all of the amazing stuff that we're all after.
Absolutely. I mean, I stepped into this particular role in a period of my life where I was figuring out more about who I was. But as I stepped into it, there were certain elements of myself that I pretty much forgot about.
Mm.
You know, prior to being an entrepreneur, I worked as a retail manager, and not just in retail management itself, but in the business administration side of it. I was also over operations. Operations was where I thrived.
Mm.
I could see a vision, I can create a vision and create a plan so good that people, my management put me over other people's departments because they couldn't make the plan and execute.
Wow.
And I realized that I was so caught up in what I didn't know as I was growing as an entrepreneur. And this is the big part for, I think, a lot of people who are going through burnout. Don't get so caught up in what you don't know.
Yeah.
Remember the skills that you're already bringing to the table,
Yeah.
and find the people who can help supplement around that. That was the big key. Now that I know I have so many people around who can, you know, operate and teach you certain things and even do things for you.
Yes.
Um, there are a lot of coaches who want to sell their programs. That's great, but sometimes you don't need a 60-day or a 90-day or a 6-month program to learn this stuff. If you got to make money more quickly, make the investment around the people who are on your team who can help you eliminate tasks, get projects done, so you can focus on your zone of genius, in your passion state, in your flow state, and do the things that you know how to do. For me, I know how to make a plan and execute. I know how to figure out the pieces I need and put it together. But
Yeah.
all the other stuff that I was trying to do to make it all work that I didn't know how to do, and I was spending a year and a half learning. I'm like, that was a good year and a half of learning. I appreciate that, but the next year and a half can't be learning the same stuff.
Oh no. No, no, no. We're not dealing with the same problems, same challenges. No. Not
No.
going forward. I
And
love
everything up levels, but it's like, you think, and this is the last big piece here. You think it's gonna feel like you're dealing with the same thing. You
it.
are getting better. The trouble is the problem is getting more complex, and so you're
Mm.
burning out because you're getting better at moving the same weight longer,
Mm.
but you're not taking that rest time to get stronger and figure out another way. If like
Mm.
you're at the gym, you're someone's just adding more weight, you're getting stronger, but at the same time, you have to do other workouts. You have to take your rest. You have to get your sleep in there. You have to eat the good food. You have to
Yes.
rotate the body. And if you don't, it's the same thing in your life and in your business. It's not just the business itself. I thought about giving up. I thought about it so hard I ended up having a dream. And in this dream, I went back to the retail store I left, and it's so funny. In the dream world, I was there for all of 2 hours before I turned in my 2 week notice again. I'm like, you just got back. You can't quit. I'm like, no, I'm quitting right now, actually.
Well, that's not unemployable. I meant it.
And so now I'm just doubling down on where I am. And I think, you know, it's not a path for everyone, but if you want to be about your business,
Yeah.
like truly give yourself the grace and the space to learn, to rest, and to find the help that you need. And shameless plug here, Allanté is probably the help that you need.
Thank you. Speaking of, and I'm gonna because I just got a notification my battery's low, but I have one question and then I'm gonna run out and get my charger. But speaking of, why did you choose me? I'm not the only operations expert out there. I'm not the only systems person. Why me out of all the other experts out there in the industry? Why did you choose to work with us?
Oh, that's easy. Because number one, I've been able to trust you. You've been able to showcase what you know consistently. You've been able to showcase your heart for people and the results that you're getting for your clients, not just as clients, but as people, as friends. And you make it easy to approach you because you treat everyone like they're a client, whether they've paid or not. And I heard this quote once that, people who are following you, they're still your clients. They're just clients who haven't paid yet.
Mm.
And you operate in that way. There's no discrimination. And beyond that, what really kind of set it off for me was the clarity and precision of your message and your offers. You're someone who kind of reinvents yourself in your business a few times
Oh
to
yeah.
keep up with what people need. And so you were one of the first in my immediate network to kind of pivot away from, hey, buy my course, buy my program. Like, you're like, hey, I still have this, but you know what? What do you need? I think you would be a good fit for this. I actually
Mm.
have this service that's going on. And so you've built out your business in a way that's able to meet the needs of different types of customers. For
Mm.
me, I came in, I'm like, I can't do another 6 months. I don't have 6 months to learn how to do this. You're like, don't worry, we can get this done in a week. Oh, okay, cool. Should I
Literally.
take my money?
And I
And
love that. And I
we
can,
did.
yeah, yeah. And I thank you for that too, because it's hard. And I can say the same thing for you too. I can't count how many people are referred just to your services and just for what you do, because it's hard finding the genuine people who are passionate about their craft, but who also treats everyone, regardless, client or not, pay me or not, treats everyone with the same level of respect. For us, we have this thing in the company where we treat everyone like royalty, everyone in our community, all of our clients, everyone we speak to, right? We're just here to just make sure that we can help you vibrate at your or operate at your highest level. And you replicate that, you speak that, you live that as well.
Oh, thank you. And that I like the word that you use there. We treat everyone like royalty. Like that takes it from not just, we treat everyone with respect. That's become so questionable these days. But when you're giving someone that royal treatment, there's no question about how that's supposed to feel.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and I get that. I get that from you and your team and the way that you organize it. It's like that presence is there from the ground up. It's in the DNA of your business.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Hmm.
Before we end our time together, again, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak with the community and share about your experience. But is there one piece of advice, one gem that you would give to anyone out there who started off where you were, right? Before you had all this work done and you have on your CEO hat, right? What would you tell that solopreneur?
Move slow to go fast.
Mm,
We're in a world where this concept of taking massive action seems like the only way. You'll hear it all the time. If you want massive results, you got to take massive action. If you want to get here, you got to do things that you've never done before. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. Don't buy into it. Don't let anyone rush your timing. Move at the pace you're supposed to move, and don't be afraid to ask the questions up front. And if someone's so quick to try and push you towards their program versus answering your questions, they may not be the one for you, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, there's going to be stuff that you need to know. And the sooner you know these things, the easier it will be. The fact that it's a year and a half before I looked at my business from the very base level, because everyone around me is like, oh, you don't need all that to make money. They weren't wrong. You don't need all that to make money. But the question is, how long do you want to be just making money? If you're
Mm.
intent on building a business, find you someone that can help you build a business, not just make money.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic.
Mm,
Ah!
mm.
So good. I'm gonna come back and watch this replay. That was so good. I didn't even expect any gems to be dropped today, but wow, thank you for sharing that because that poured into me as well. And
Sure.
I know
Well,
there's
thank
some
you
people
for
out
holding
there.
that space. I've been waiting to say that one. People getting on my nerves.
We may have to set up something and do like another event because we could probably have conversations and there's so much we can do. But I will go ahead and end it now. Again, thank you so much, Andrae, for your time, for sharing your experience, your knowledge, your skill set, and also telling everyone else what not to listen to, what to focus on. Yes, move slow so you can move fast. It's okay to take a step back, to take 2 steps forward. That's perfectly fine, especially right now, y'all. In this world with everything we have going on, please take it slow. Fall in love with the process. It is no rush. Your success is inevitable. We're just waiting for time to catch up. That's it.
That's it. Well, thank you for having me on there. I love those words. We're just waiting for time to catch up. That's it. Thank you, Alante. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to all the rest that we can get done. I'm looking forward to more calls, more events, and more work together.
Yes. And I'm looking forward to Friday, this book club. I'm ready to hear
Woo!
your gems.
I got like 2 chapters left. I'm gonna knock those out today.
Let's do it. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you found value in this, please go ahead and drop down your biggest takeaway. If you are interested in getting your very own complimentary operations audit, this is still happening for the month of August. Comment down below the word audit. Outside of that, y'all have an amazing rest of your Tuesday and your week ahead. Bye, everyone.
Bye, and thank you.